Is ranked is a ranked mode good for the game? Is a
No,
ranked mode good for Super Auto Pets?
just say it with a bit of oomph.
You say it then.
Oh God, it's too easy.
Genuine thoughts.
I
Ranked.
like the idea of rank mode. I like the idea.
Hmm.
It's just I don't think it's going to fix the problem.
You think previously you have said to me that you think the game is dying, which makes no sense because we've just started this
No,
podcast about
it
this game. But I'd like to
yes,
hear more
that
about
would be our
this.
luck, wouldn't it? That
That
we
would
would
be our
start a
luck.
podcast on dying game,
Yeah.
and maybe it is dying. Maybe you need to just come to terms with it
Okay.
because you barely play it.
Let's start.
Like you
Okay, that's
rarely play
true.
this game.
No, I do. Okay, listen. Compared to other games, I play this game a lot.
What were you playing earlier?
For half an hour, I was. I know where you're getting at this with this. You're gonna say, "What were you playing earlier? You were playing Valorant, weren't you?" No, I was playing
No.
SAP. I was playing SAP.
What? That you needed a word associated with year?
Oh, get
Were you
out
doing a
of here!
crossword?
I was doing
Right.
right. There is like the Wordle games, like Word, all the duel games,
See?
like Wordle,
There we go.
Polygonal. There was one called Contexto, and I like to play it every now and then.
Play some sap.
Let me tell you
Oh
why.
no, guess what? It's dying game, and you don't want to play it.
I will say I am not as enthused at the moment
There we go.
as I used to be, but I do think it's because it needs to, something needs to freshen it up. Whether that be a ranked mode, which I do think would be good for the game, but we can come to
I
that later.
I think that would be good for the game as well. I just think the most simple thing that would just automatically enhance the game is just to spectate. That'd be great if you could just spectate. It would
Listen,
open for tournaments and stuff like that because at the moment you have no idea what's going on tournament wise. I have no idea. If there is one, you can't view it. You can't go watch it.
I mean, that poses loads of questions. Let me come back to that in a second. I just want to hear what makes you think the game is dying. I want to know from your words what makes you think the game is dying, and then we can come back to that.
Because it's not as fun, and you can just tell that like, you're coming up against teams that you've faced 3 times in a row. So where's the other teams here?
Do you think the next pack coming out will bring a
No,
larger player base again?
no, I don't. I think
Uh,
it will peak it for a little bit, like a little boost in playing players wise, but
yeah,
it'll fizzle out like the Star Pack did.
they
Star
need
Pack fizzled.
new modes. So you're basically okay. Let's go back because I did say we would, but I actually want to take something else from what you said. You said the game is dying because it's not as fun as it used to be, but the game is still the same. So I want to know what makes you
I
think it's not as fun.
because I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just getting more and more frustrated at the game. Maybe that's what it is. I
Maybe you're
feel
getting
more and more frustrated.
worse at the
Maybe I'm
game.
getting worse. Yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
am getting worse. But I don't feel like I should be getting worse. I feel like I should be getting better.
But are you trying to win or are you trying to go for
I'm
fun
trying to win.
builds?
I'm trying to win. I use this weekly as like a the last weekly and then this weekly was kind of like, okay, let's just try and win. Let's forget about
Hmm.
achievements, all that rubbish. Let's just try and win. I feel like if it feels so impossible because every team's like stacked.
Different modes is what I think would bring the game back. I've mentioned ranked, but you're saying a spectator mode.
I think spectator mode would just open it up to kind of have like you can have tournaments and stuff like that, and it can be visible for everyone to see.
I think that's interesting. Only, but the only thing I think though is who's gonna watch these tournaments? Who's gonna
Okay,
participate in these tournaments? I
this
want
is
to
the other.
understand this.
Well, yeah, okay, this is the other thing. It would have to be like a big tournament, wouldn't it? Like because there's no point doing like a little tournament with like prize money of like £100. I mean, most of the content creators can just go do a video, get a few thousand on that, and they've already made their money. like
But
from
are
doing
you
that.
attracting content creators or are you attracting people who are good at the game? What are you
Well,
trying
yeah,
to
well, you would
attract?
want a bit of both, wouldn't you?
But I think ranked is the gateway into tournaments. I
Okay,
think because
maybe it is.
you don't have the tryhards at the moment. I think the people who I don't well, there must be tryhards in
I
Super
think
Auto,
there is.
but at the moment, the only reason for people who have played the game loads, like me and you, the only reason for us to play, or I find the only reason for me to boot up the game, is either to do those achievements, like we're talking about,
Yeah,
or to do some sort of challenge, or to try and do a fun build. I rarely go in thinking I want to win. I go in thinking I'm going to play a game and try and do a fun build that I think's cool, have some
yeah,
ideas. You know, you have the versus mode, but to kind of simplify, I suppose, they should just make a 1v1 mode where you hit the button and you queue up for 1v1s.
yeah, and it's what, and it's live.
And it's live, yeah, it's live. You play 1v1, you get paired, you get matched up 1v1
Mm.
against someone. And that's exciting because we've said it before, when you play 1v1 it's a different game. And I think it would also lend itself to having builds that last a bit longer when you're doing 1v1. Not too much
Yeah.
longer, but a bit longer. So you might be able to get those creative builds that you want to build. You might be more likely to actually build them. A spectator mode would be good though.
Oh yeah, it
Like
you
you
can
share your code and you
obviously
can join as
do.
a spectator.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
because then you could just have loads of people watching it that way, or you can limit the amount of spectators or whatever. So
Yeah.
then someone could just stream it or whatever, and then you've got people coming in. Well, if someone wanted to host a tournament, they could do it.
Yeah.
They could, like,
Uh,
I think a content creator could really put in a lot of time and effort to make a decent tournament if they had that. Like, would you want to join a tournament that's like it's not even being shown?
depends on the prize money. This is it. What's the draw?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like, let's say it's £100 or something.
But this is it. I think at the moment tournaments are set up in SAP for competitors and do not take into account spectators. There could definitely be a viewership experience with SAP because I think it's
Which I
interesting enough.
Yeah, I think so, because all the things that you can do
I mean, just
and
look at
how lucky you can get
yeah,
or
and just
how
look at
unlucky.
YouTube. All the
Mm.
popular SAP videos of people. At the moment, it's people doing creative builds, but this is why I think a ranked system would be good, is because you've got to know who's good to be like, oh wow, he upset him, or he took him to the brink, or what, or you know what I'm saying. Like you need to
Yeah.
know who's good or who's not good.
I just don't think ranked on its own is going to save it,
I think you
because it
need
doesn't.
ranked to be able to tell if it's going to bring in the competitors.
Well, it would definitely do that, but you can't just leave it as that.
Because the spectators at the moment, people who are spectators are going to be people who play the game. And the only people who play the game are going to come back for different, modes and such. And if there's no, I don't know.
No, I agree with you with the fact that rank needs to be a thing. Like we do need it. I just
Hmm.
want there to be like hype around.
But that's because, and again, that's because SAP doesn't promote being good at the game. It promotes just having a fun time, which is fine. That's what a lot of people want. I saw some
Yeah, that's fine.
stuff about it on Discord where people were like, well, it shouldn't have ranked. It's a chill, fun auto battler. But I just think it ranked just adds another element. It gives you a purpose to play. Like I said, right now my purpose to play the game is to just come up with a cool build, but that's not sustainable. I'm not going to consistently want to do that. I love the game enough to wait for the next pack, and the next pack looks cool, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this pack, and what builds can I do with that? But you can't just keep releasing packs.
Look at this. Have you ever noticed this about me when I go like this?
Oh my god. You need to
What
get that
is that?
checked out. You need to get that checked out.